Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Revolution Formula 1. Tonight we're here in Division 2 in Singapore, round number 10. We've got a pretty nice title fight that can't be settled today, but today could be a turning point in said championship. There's a 15-point gap between 5 Crown and Bonge, so looking to see kind of what they can do. If Bonge can close the gap, if 5 can put one hand on the trophy. Singapore is always interesting for qualifying because the times tend to be quite far away because of how much time you can gain on each other in every single one of the many corners that are compacted between the walls, and gaps tend to be large. The tyre choice tends to be the same for everyone. You know, mainly people going for the soft tyre, and not many people going for that alternate strategy on the mediums simply because the qualifying position will be so low. But we are using short qualifying today due to lower numbers compared to last week. Normally do have a pretty field grid, but today that's not the case. This means that the medium runners will be kind of fighting for track position on those mediums, which doesn't help. But let's go to on track then with Teddy Ruxpin. Although I think the first person to start a flying lap will be SRL Apollo in the Aston Martin. Going through into the last sector to start his flying lap. He is on the soft tyre. Sort out the detail. There we go. We're right on board with him around the last corner. Always looking to get a good exit. Track limits can be ignored on quite a few of the corners on this track, so we'll see how wide people are willing to go. But not much pressure on the first lap, it's only a banker. bit wide there for Apollo. That will lose him a bit of time, but does enable him to get on the power earlier, so he'll claw some of it back. But loses the rear a bit on that through that section, but pretty tidy through the what used to be the Singapore sling into this kind of tunnely type section into a tricky braking zone for the hairpin. He's a bit deep. He didn't have the best line going into there, but gets a pretty good exit as he does run up wide near the wall. Paper stream probably a bit distracting, but he got out of the way nicely. Coming through, in my opinion, the trickiest part of the track, these next couple of corners, that is. So easy to invalidate, but you need to kind of cut the corners to gain the time. He plays it safe though, getting nice and close to the wall. Not too bad of a banker here for Apollo. Has lost the rear a few times, but apart from that, not so bad through the last corner again. And he's going to set the first qualifying time of a 1:39.1 for Apollo. I believe Bonge will be the next man to set a lap. No, Teddy Ruxpin he goes quickest with a 38.1. Holds just under a second quicker as Bonge goes 1.1 seconds quicker with a 37 flat. Good lap time there from the Williams. He, of course, is in this championship fight, 15 points behind 5 Crown, who's currently in the pits. Williams versus Ferrari at the top. Quite a big gap, but there is 3 rounds to go. Anything can happen. Bonge can take the championship lead here if he finishes second or above and 5 Crown does not score. So it is well within reach for Bonge. But also on the flip side, if Bonge doesn't score and 5 Crown gets the win, then it's going to look like a pretty or almost impossible task for Bonge to claw it back. So pressure's on him. Pressure's kind of off 5 Crown a little bit, but we'll look to other people who are currently on track. We've got Mr. Taddo who's on a lap. He's on the mediums in the Mercedes. Goes a touch wide there. That will lose him a fairly big chunk of time. And through this next right-hander into the tunnely sections. Not had the best couple of corners there, going deep into most of them, into the hairpin tricky braking zone. Goes deep just as Apollo did. It cuts back on exit. And I've just been told by one of the drivers, Rux, thank you very much. It's a dry quali, as we're seeing now, but it is a wet race. It's a wet race towards the end, I believe, is what I can interpret from his message. He says race is wet, but somewhat near the end. So a dry to wet race in Singapore. That's always going to be interesting, but coming around the last corner with Taddo. Not the tidiest of lap times, so it will be a 1:41.5, so that's definitely not his best. He is in the mediums, remember. 5 Crown, our championship leader, is on his out lap. But I think Paper Stream, he hasn't set it up yet. He's currently on a flyer in Sector 1. He set to 27.6, I believe that was. Playing it risky on the exit there, almost went out of track limits, just kept it within. Slight lock-up, not ideal. Through that left-hander, losing a little bit of time. Goes deeper than he would have wanted to. Into this tunnel type section where the walls just seem to close on you into the hairpin. Not many people are finding that tricky at the moment. They're not going as far right as they should. They're struggling in the braking zone. Can't blame them. Paper Stream is on the soft tyres. He's one of the majority into, again, what I believe the hardest part on the track, the hardest few corners on the track. So easy to cut and get your lap time deleted, but you've also got to take that risk if you want a quick lap time. Through the last couple of corners, see what Paper Stream can do. I don't think it's been the best lap looking at the time at the moment. No, it hasn't. Probably not representative. He goes P4 with a 41.1. Just about a 41.1. 41.199. So 5 Crown then, our championship leader. He is starting his first flying lap of the day. On the medium tyre actually. Oh no, that's just a graphic. Oh no, the graphics are telling me mixed messages, but I can see that he's on the mediums. Top right says mediums, left side says softs. But I believe, is that because... Yeah, there we go, it's because I've got it on best, that's why, here we go. So yeah, definitely on the mediums then. He's got his Ferrari teammate just up ahead of... is it? No, he's got Paper Stream. Can't even read. Paper Stream and the Red Bull getting out of the way for him, coming through the old Singapore sling. 5 Crown looking strong so far. Bear in mind he's on the medium, so I doubt he'll be challenging the top times. Bonge is his target, who's on a 37 flat, but I think 5 can go P2 here if he hooks this up nicely. Teddy Rux, oh no, Halo, sorry, goes P3 with a 38.7. He's on the medium, so 5 I'm sure will be looking to beat that and become first of the medium runners. Approaching the halfway mark of this quality already, as 5 Crown has a bit of a moment. That's going to lose him a bit of time. That's not ideal, especially on the mediums, as you don't want to be going again. He does go P2, exactly what he needed to do. Just 4 temps shy of Bonge, 4.5 temps shy of Bonge. Not bad for a medium lap time from 5 Crown. Running on the soft, someone who can challenge for the win. He has done in past. A bit unlucky throughout this season, but he needs to show what he can do in this last few rounds. Around the last corner on the soft tyre, will it be the quickest lap time for him? It will be, yeah. A 36.9, he goes a 10th quickest at the top over Bonge. Good lap time from the number 54 McLaren. Wenheimer is now coming through the middle sector. Just finished one of 2 DRS straights, pretty pointless DRS straights in Singapore. That's probably the best out of the 2. Main straight isn't really a place where you want to be doing your overtaking if you don't want to lose time to everyone else. A bit cautious on the curbs is Penheimer. Looking nice and tidy on the soft tyre. Through the last corner he goes. Aston Martin looking lovely under the sky. He goes P4 with a 38.0. 6 temps shy of 5 on the medium, so 5 did a very good lap time. He's on his in lap, he is no longer pushing. Looked SSR Halo also on the mediums. He's in sector 1 and coming to the end of it, but I don't think he's pushing. No, he's not. He's 8.6 seconds down. I believe that's it for people on a lap. Everyone's either on the in or out lap or in the pits, unless Tado can prove me wrong. No, he has just finished his lap, I believe. Or is he going again? No, he's going again. His lights are not flashing. He is pushing. He will ride on board with the Mercedes through sector 1, looking to improve on his lap time, which currently sets him bottom of the times. Hello, my style. Tado a 10th and a half up through sector 1 alone. So looking pretty good for him. He's trying to get ahead of at least Paper Stream, of course, so he needs to recover 3 temps in order to do that. Through the tightest part on the track. The hairpin, tricky braking zone. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It is really, really difficult not to lock up, really difficult not to go deep. Hard to set up as well. But he is just shy of 6 temps up on his previous best lap time, so if he keeps it up, he will jump Paper Stream in the timings. but he needs to do a lot more than that if he wants to jump Apollo, who is on the soft tyre, who's also on a lap right now, I believe. But we'll stick with Mr. Tallow from the beginning of his lap to the end, coming through this last section of the track. Not going too close to the wall, is playing it safe is Tallow. Jumps the curb at the last corner, and his lights are flashing at the end, but he does improve up to P8 with a 40.569, so he does get ahead of Paperstream. Looking to the other Mercedes of Ruxian, who's on a lap on the medium tyre. A few more people opting for the alternate strategy than I thought, which is a good thing, makes it interesting. Down the back straight, DRS are wide open into another tricky braking zone. This goes a touch deep, but that won't really lose him that much time. The thing about Singapore is there's so many sections where you're turning and braking at the same time, so you really got to nail the trail braking and prevent any sort of lock-up that will lose you time. I think some of these drivers using ABS, but quite a lot of them not. Ruxian goes a bit deep, he just kisses the wall, but he gets away with it. That will lose him time, but at least the front wing is still on the car through the last corner. He goes P3 on the mediums, 2 tenths to just under, 3 tenths quicker than 5 Crown, and only 2 tenths slower than Bonge. A really, really good lap from Ruxian. There's definitely time in it. You saw how untidy his last sector was. Now we'll look to Teddy Ruxpin in the Williams. He's just under half a tenth up through sector 1, so he needs to find a bit more time. It's a terrible camera angle game. It's a bit squirrely on the exit, but should get away with that. DRS open down the back straight, so we get a nice cinematic camera. Most cars look pretty good in the dark, as Bonge goes quickest with a 36.3. That is miles quicker than Ronin, so a big improvement for Bonge. Looking for Teddy Ruxpin to come across the line very shortly. Didn't catch his split time through sector 2, so it's a mystery to see whether he's improving or not, but he does stick with the lap. Come around the last corner, not carrying as much speed as other people have, but he will not improve on his position. He just goes just under 2 tenths quicker than his previous best, but he needs to find another 5 tenths to go quicker than 5 Crown, who is at the moment half a second down on his time, but still plenty of track left to improve. He's got a McLaren ahead of him. I think that has to be Ronin, who's not on a lap, but he was a bit reluctant to get out of the way. That's going to be distracting for 5 Crown. Gets really close to the wall. That's the line you want to be taking. Takes a different line to everyone else, the quicker line. And we'll look as he comes to the end of sector 2 what his split time is going to be. Looks pretty tidy. Yeah, he is just shy of a tenth up on his previous best. He needs to find another tenth or so to beat Ruxian in the standings. That's certainly doable if he hooks up nicely, taking the perfect amount of curb, getting nice and close to the wall. This is looking pretty good from 5 Crown. Carrying as much speed as possible through the last sector. That's kind of what you want to be doing. Getting on the power early, getting close to the wall, not quite as close as Ruxian, but that's probably for the best as he skips over the final corner apex curb, and he does improve, but not quite enough to beat Ruxian. He's about a tenth shy, just over a tenth shy. So man to beat at the moment is Bonge on the softs. We're on a 36.3. Bradford now is going to be looking to see if he can top that through sector 1. I was a bit late seeing this split, so we won't be seeing that, but through the hairpin. Bonge has retired from the session, so that'll be qualifying over for Bonge. That's qualifying over almost for everyone else who isn't on a lap, considering there is only 5 seconds left of the session. That's it, just under 5 seconds. In fact, qualifying is over, checker flag is out. Bradford is going to be setting only 1 lap, so pressure's on not to invalidate or anything like that in the last sector. So as he locks up and he goes deep and he's in the wall. Bradford's in the wall. Doesn't look like he's got any significant damage, so he's going to continue. He has to, if he wants any chance of not starting last. through the last corner. We go, takes a bit of a shorter line, but not carrying as much speed, no time. Didn't validate, I think, on the last corner. So Bradford will be starting last. We look to 5 Crown, who's no longer pushing, so he'll be starting P4 at best. Wenheimer is 1.6 seconds up on his previous best. He's on the soft tyre, looking to improve on P6, looking like he will be able to do that as we enter the last section of the track. Getting nice and close to the wall, looking pretty tidy. Turns in a couple of times as he loses the rear in the penultimate corner. He's going to lose a massive chunk of time. That can potentially cost him a position, but he's going to come around the last corner and he goes fastest. That spin cost him, well, nothing in fact, because he goes fastest only by, well, less than a 100th of a second. Really, really close between the top two. Wenheimer is on pole and less is Apollo on a lap. Apollo's on a lap, but no, he is slow, so Apollo won't be improving. 5 Crown is also not on a lap, so that is it for qualifying. Wenheimer in the Aston Martin is your pole sitter. Everyone else has completed their laps. So that is it, Wenheimer on pole. Bonge in second place. TRC rounding up the top 3. And I'll get the rest of that grid for you in just a moment. As we're now on board with our pole sitter. Really, really, really close to the top. Let's have a look at what that gap was. 8 1,000ths of a second between Wenheimer and Bonge at the top. So I'll quickly get that order for you. Wenheimer on pole, Bonge in second, rounds out the top 3. Ruxian in P4, he's highest of the mediums. 5 Crown in P5, Teddy Ruxpin, followed by Halo, Apollo, Lucas Fenn, Mr. Tallow, Paperstream, and Bradford, who never got a lap time in. He made that mistake on his lap and invalidated, so he'll be starting P12 and dead last. So in terms of the championship protagonists, Bonge does out-qualify 5 Crown, as you'd probably expect, considering Bonge is on the softs, and 5 is on the mediums. So if 5 can get a legendary start, then he can look to challenge Bonge for position, but he'll have to get the best start he's ever got if he wants to do so on the harder rubber. But he will come back at him later in the race when the softs start to die off, and in the last few laps of the race when 5 will be on the more competitive tyre. I'm assuming he'll go onto the softs for a medium soft strategy. So Bonge's only task now is to just pull away. He needs to get as much track position as possible, but I think for him his goal is just beating 5 Crown at the moment. 15 points to take out in 3 rounds, certainly doable, but you want to cut the workload for you in the last 2 races. Also remember, it is a dry to wet race, I've just forgotten, so no, Bonge probably won't make it to the rain. I'm not sure when the rain is going to hit. I don't think even the drivers are sure on that, so looks like 5 is going to be trying to make those medium tyres last until the rain. I doubt Bonge or any of the other soft runners will be able to do that, and I'll just get all of these details up. Wenheimer leads us away for the formation lap. So we've got the game here telling me it could be a free stopper. Now, even if it was 100%, then I don't think that would be the case. So please ignore the strategy the game tells you. I think most people do anyway. That's interesting, but while we're on the formation lap, if you could get your top 3 predictions for the race in the chat, see what you guys think is going to happen. I'm going to put my money on, I reckon 5 Crown's going to win. I reckon he'll get past Rux, take those mediums to the rain, and he will lead the way from there and won't look back. I think Bonge will come second with Ruxian in third. That's my top 3. Pog says Bonge P1, of course he would, as he is his engineer. Go on Pog, think of the others, P2 and P3, who do you think? Just one thing I'll point out is excuse the different camera angle on the Williams. I keep forgetting to sort that out, I say it every week. But yeah, I keep forgetting to sort it out, but it's not really that big of a deal, it's just a different camera angle compared to the TV pod one. So we've got Miss Amy saying Teddy will get podium, so he's starting P6, so he'll have to get at least 3 positions up from where he is now. Then we've got Vanners who says Teddy P1, Paperstream P2 and Lucas in P3. That'd be pretty spectacular if that happens, but you can never count anyone out. Again, please ignore the predicted pit stop strategy. It's laughable. Pug says Rux to kill 5, running B2. We did have a disqualification on the formation app. Oh, and we've... okay. Just, I know exactly what's happened there. What's going to happen is, right now, is... we're going to sit on the grid for a while. This happened last week in the Division 2 race. Yeah, so we're going to sit on the grid and we're not going to get the lights. And then the screen will go black. We'll get a loading screen and then it will put us back in the game and the lights will be starting to go out. So I'm hoping that 5 Crown, the lobby starter knows that and won't have to force a restart, as it will work. It's just that Lucas Fenn, as we can see, I think he got disqualified or he's disconnected or something like that, and the game's just still put him there. And according to the game, he has not completed the formation lap, so he won't get moved to his grid position. But it will get underway. It will just take a little while. There we go. So now Lucas Fenn. Oh, he's going to get underway for the formation lap. I'm hoping we won't have to wait for him. As he leaves the session, he's obviously disconnected. This is completely different to what happened in France, so excuse me. So what's going to happen, I assume, is Lucas's AI is going to do the formation lap, and that's when we'll start to get going. Everyone else is waiting on the grid. Their tyres don't have to worry, as the tyre wear or the tyre temperatures don't start going down for a while. Okay, here's the black screen. Here's what I was talking about. So the race is about to start. Wait, once these guys load, the lights will start coming on, so get ready. Pokey says Buenheimer P1, Ruxian P2, Ronin P3. As it's lights out and away we go. We didn't even get the lights. Buenheimer gets a decent start. Ruxian's up 1 position over Ronin on the medium tyre. Remember, Ruxian's going down the inside of Bonge. Really good start for Rux. He gets a dream start. So does Buenheimer, who's already about 8 tenths clear of the field. Bonge loses position to Ronin as well as Ruxian. 5 Crown keeps his position as well as Teddy, Halo, Apollo in P8. Bradford up 3 positions already. He's in P9. Lucas Fenn 16 down a position in P10. Paperstream and Tado round up the last 2 positions as Teddy and Rux spin, as we've got 2 wide down there. Teddy Ruxpin breaks, Bonge breaks really early, hard to distinguish the 2 Williams. They went side by side. Ronin came out best out of that kind of 4-way scrap. 5 Crown has not got the great start. He's down 1 position in P6, but look at Ruxian go on the medium tyre, and he's caught up and is quicker than Buenheimer. Really good job there from Ruxian. As we enter the hairpin, get a great camera angle, overhead camera angle of that hairpin. Rux right now has just got to keep that gap under 1 second for a couple of more laps so he can get the DRS, but kind of settled down a little bit now. We've got a big gap to the car behind. I think it's Bradford. Yes, Bradford. He's had some sort of incident on the medium tyre. He's got a massive job to do if he wants to get back to the pack and score any sort of points. Ronin's already a second out from Rux. As I say that, he gets back in. I assume he'll be catching up and he will stay there as Rux is in the dirt year of Buenheimer. Bonge just about under 1 second. He needs to get a move on, as he's only 1 place ahead of 5 Crown. He couldn't get a very good start. He's down 2 places, so not ideal for Bonge, especially considering he's got a medium runner ahead of him, which is a nightmare scenario when you're on the softs, especially this early in the race. Raxian still holding on. Lost about a tenth in the last sector in this first one on this lap. He's under that crucial 1 second mark. Looking further down the field, we've got Halo on the back of Teddy Ruxpin. Teddy Ruxpin out of the DRS of 5 Crown, so he'll have no defence against Halo when we get onto lap 3. Apollo 3 seconds behind them. Tallow and Paperstream have a bit of a scrap. Looks like Tallow made his way round the outside of Paperstream to get himself into P10, the point position. And I missed Stuart's prediction. He says Mr. Tallow will win with Bonge in second and 5 Crown in third. I think everyone wants to see that. Raxian lost another 2 tenths to Brenheimer. He's got to keep pushing. Gets a pretty good exit. Claws about another half tenth back. But again, he is under that 1 second, which is what he needs to be. Goes a little bit deep. He'll get away with it. Crucially for him, Ronin is 1.1 seconds back. That means Bonge will have all the cards on his side when we get onto lap 3. He is 8.5 tenths behind Ronin as we come into the last section of the track, but 5 Crown is right behind him on the medium tyre. This is not a good situation for Bonge. He needs to get pushing, he needs to get past Ronin, and he needs to catch up to Rexian and Puenheimer if he wants kind of a chance of clawing back the deficit he has. Because looks like we've got a spinner. DRS is enabled on lap 3, but Teddy Ruxpin has spun. He is lost, I think, 4 positions. He's going to come into the pits. Probably wing damage. Yes, he does. He's missing a left end plate. He's coming into the pits. Probably for the mediums if he wants to make it to the rain. That means Bradford will make up 1 position. Looking at the leaders now. Rexian with DRS enabled won't be close enough to Brenheimer. He is using his battery, so he believes that that's what he needs to keep within the gap. Ronin did not get DRS, I don't believe. Neither did Bonge, so 5 Crown will be closing on him. And I can't stress this enough. This is a nightmare scenario for Bonge. He's on the sauce, 5 Crown on the mediums. Yes, the rain is coming, and personally, I don't know when the rain is arriving, but if it is at the end of the race, like Ruxian said, then this isn't a great situation for Bonge. He will look to stretch those softs as far as he possibly can. Medium runners should, hopefully for them, make it into the rain. As it stands, Pokemon Jakob, excuse me if I butchered that, is spot on with his prediction. He said Brenheimer first with Ruxian and Ronin just behind, so he was correct. I think 5 Crown would have just got a warning. He took a lot of curb, went straight over the curb camera, but he's all over the back of Bonge now. Bonge 1.8 seconds. He's had an awful lap. He's had a woeful lap compared to Ronin. He's lost so much time. Ronin's had a good one. He's clawed back a tenth on the leaders, so he'll have DRS. He'll look to make it a freeway battle for the lead. DRS enabled for 5 Crown. Bit of a pointless straight on the DRS straight on the main straight, but look how much more curb. Oh, as we spun! Bonge has spun. Bonge is round. Looks like he only will lose 1 position because of it, but he's lost a huge chunk of time. That's terrible for the championship. They spun at turn 2, and now he's got on really hot tyres. He'll have Halo right behind him. Halo's going to be able to brake much later, but I'm not sure if he's going to need to, coming down the back straight. Now Bonge defends the outside, the inside. That was very late, but just with the cooler tyres, Halo makes his way around the outside, gets shoved off a little bit, but fair racing. All's fair at the moment. Bonge hanging in on the inside, but as he sends it, whoa, that was not a usual place that you send it, but Halo around the outside gets the job done. So that's 2 positions lost because of Bonge's spin, and because they went side by side for so long, they've lost like 4.5 seconds to 5 Crown. A nightmare scenario for Bonge and a dream scenario for 5. That was crucial for the championship. That could be a major turning point. As 5 on top of his 15-point advantage will be majorly outscoring Bonge as it stands. You can further up the field. The top 2 looks like Ronin's made some sort of mistake, or he's just had a bad lap, but he's now 1.5 seconds behind them and out of DRS. Ruxian's still hanging on. He doesn't really need to make the overtake at the moment, does Rux. He's on the harder tyre, the tyre that's going to last longer. He can just kind of sit behind, grind his ERS, gets a little bit squirrely on the exit. Rear end just not biting as he'd want it to, but as I say, he's saving up ERS. Looks like he might be struggling on the pace compared to Brenheimer, as expected, because he's on the mediums. as he's got barely any ERS left. His tyres look to be overheating though, as he's lost the rear on the past few corners. 9.8 seconds is the gap. He'll have DRS. He's got no ERS to use. As Bond has just come into the pits. Let's have a look. What tyre is he going to go on? He's opting for the medium, so whether he's going to try and go to the end if the rain never comes, but he'll definitely make it to the end. Or definitely make it to the rain, as he could make it to the end if there was no rain from now. So Teddy Ruxpin, his teammate, should get the position. It will be close. Yeah, Bonge comes out behind his teammate on the fresher tyre. Back to the leaders. Ruxin's had a pretty good middle sector because he's gained about 3 temps on Brenheimer. Another DRS zone to gain, probably another couple of temps. 5 crowns banging in some really good laps as he's now 1.4 seconds behind Ronin. Bearing in mind the gap just a few laps ago was over 2 seconds, so his pace is coming alive. I think Ronin's on the softs, who might start to struggle a little bit now. That could be why Ruxin's gained so much time on the Aston Martin of Brenheimer up front. Well, I wish I could see a replay of Ruxin starting on board, because he had a mega one. He was already challenging Bonge into turn 1 and turn 2. He got past Ronin kind of instantly, and then Ronin got ahead of Bonge, because Bonge going side by side with Ruxin through turn 2 just wasn't the optimal line. He got all out of shape. Speaking of out of shape at turn 2, Ruxin's still struggling with the rear end. I think his tyres are overheating a little bit, as they tend to do around Singapore, but he's got the DRS, which is what he needs, and he's got a big gap behind, which again is what he needs. Looking back at Bonge, who's miles quicker than his Williams teammate. See if any type of team orders come about, but they tend to be kind of less common in league racing. 5 crown is now within the DRS of Ronin. Ronin definitely struggling on those soft tyres when that's 6 laps old. The Ferrari versus the McLaren. We've seen that one before. Coming through the tightest part on the track into the hairpin. Lovely car. I love this camera angle that the game gives us. That is mega. So just looking at the stops, the bottom 3, the people who occupy the bottom 3 positions are all stopped. Apollo, Bonge and Ruxpin. Ruxpin came into the pits at the end of that lap. Looking at the tyres, paper streams on the hards. I believe he must have started on those. Yeah, he would have done his in stopped yet. So he's making good progress on the hard tyre in P8. He'll definitely make it. Well, he could technically make it to the end, but he does have to stop. If the rain comes, he'll definitely make it there. 5 crown pushing Ronin through the last sector. I've just noticed that 5 is taking like meters more curb than everyone else. He's so much more confident. There's a Brenheimer spun on that last corner, and that means Ruxin's in the lead. Brenheimer spun at the last corner, Ruxin leads. That's kind of unexpected. I'm assuming Brenheimer's struggling on the tyres, or they're overheating. You can see how much he's struggling under braking now. Oh, he's got no front wing, he's hit the wall, that's why. So Brenheimer is going to lose chunks of time to everyone else. He's got to do a whole lap without a front wing. That is torture for any driver. Look how wide he's going, even when braking like 50 metres early. We'll look at 5 crown now going down the inside of Ronin. He'll be past him before the braking zone, but Ronin braver on the brakes, but 5 crown pushes him out wide, as he's entitled to do on the inside line. That means 5 crown's up to P2. Again, crucial for the championship. That is an extra few points that he's now got ahead of Bonge. Speaking of Bonge, he's just picked up the fastest lap of the race. He's pushing really, really hard. Yeah, Halo gets past Brenheimer. Look at that, he's going to struggle so much. Lucas Fenn, who's 12.6 seconds behind, just watch that gap go down through these next few sectors, or a couple of sectors. It's already down 5 temps, 7 temps a second. Yeah, that's crazy how much time Brenheimer is losing compared to everyone else with no front wing. It's just so painful. He's done it on the main straight, he's lost time spinning, his tyres are overheated, he's on dead softs, and he's got to do the whole lap with it. So Brenheimer's sticking with it though. And look at Lucas Fenn, he's got multiple seconds in just that last sector alone. Wouldn't be too surprised if he catches him through these next few corners. because of those two spins of Bonge and Puenheimer, the gaps between all drivers have extended massively as Ronin. That was an interesting pit entrance. I noticed that he's lost a couple of seconds to 5, so what happened I don't know. But Ronin just came into the pits, he kind of stopped on pit entrance. He's opting for the hard tyre, so he'll definitely make it to the end. Puenheimer obviously follows him behind. He's opting for the medium tyre, he will also make it to the end. So that means Bradford, who has got a penalty, going side by side with Paperstream, round the outside the Red Bull goes. Nothing to do there, but he'll get a better line through turn 2, better traction, but he chooses to back out and try and do it in the DRS zone. He's already using overtake. He's really keen to get ahead of the Alfa Romeo. Didn't get the best exit though, as he'll definitely be too far back to make a move on Bradford 22. Apollo right behind them on his fresh mediums. He'll probably be miles quicker than Paperstream at the moment. But like I said, with the gap as you go, you've got Roxian with a 3.1 second lead. 5 Crown was fastest man on track, well, fastest medium runner earlier on, minus Bonge, who was currently not in this fight. I mean, look at the amount of time that 5 is gaining. And I think it's all just down to, like I said before, the curbs. He's just taking so much more curb than everyone else. He's taken a little bit too much curb, as that could be pretty crucial, as he's now received a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. So 5 Crown is going to have 3 seconds added onto his time, as is Ruxian, I believe, as Ruxian has gathered too many warnings from incidents in previous races, so he has given himself a 3-second penalty as standard. So obviously it won't show in game, as this is a 3-second penalty added by the league. Ruxian will also have that time added on. As it stands, there'll be no change to 5 Crown's position, as he has got a gap, 7.1 second gap to Halo. Looking further down, Bonge has just got past Paperstream, who Paperstream just completely ignored turn 1. Cut it completely, that would definitely be some sort of warning. Surprised it wasn't an instant penalty. Bonge goes straight past the Red Bull. He's already got a second or 1.1 second clear. He doesn't have to worry about the DRS, he's flying on those mediums, he's driving angry I think after that spin. He's in the points though, so it's not all bad for him. Puenheimer obviously had his incident, he's gone from first all the way down to dead last. He's 1 second behind Teddy Ruxpin, but that'll probably change considering the tyre difference between the two. Yeah, as it does, he's now 9 tenths behind. He'll get the DRS on his back straight with Ronin and Tado having a little bit of a scrap. I think Tado on a different strategy to Ronin, doesn't fight it too much. Ronin moves up to P5. Going back down to where I was before, on board with Puenheimer and the Aston Martin. He's looking to pass Teddy Ruxpin for P11. And you can also see the points just ahead of that. Paperstream in the Red Bull currently sitting P10. Looking like Puenheimer is a lot quicker and he's getting held up through this last sector. A bit of a mini train. Bradford picks up another 3-second penalty. He's got 6 seconds total already, only on lap 10. See what Puenheimer does. He's going to choose to use his overtake. He's going to close a lot on Paperstream, as Paperstream's going to lose 2 positions in one, is he? Paperstream was later on the brakes around the outside on the hard tyre, but he does lose 2 positions into one corner. Now Puenheimer is going to look as Bonge has had another spin. Bonge has spun again. Did he get damaged? So he's made up so much progress. I saw the yellow flag, and then about 50 metres down the road from where he did it before, Bonge has had another spin. That's crucial for the championship. He's out of the points compared to 5 Crown. He's in P2 and closing on P1. He'll struggle now on heated tyres, but yeah, that's going to be massive for the championship. he gets past Red Bull in the end. Penheimer in the Aston Martin gets ahead of Teddy Ruxpin. That's what he did down the DRS straight while we were looking at Bonch. That is really, really bad news for Bonch. We've got another yellow flag, I believe. Who's that for? That's Apollo, SRL Apollo. In the other Aston Martin has got no front wing. So another front wing change for the Aston Martin crew. He's got to do half the lap. Is in the wall. Safety car comes out as expected. That's good for Bonge, but I don't have telemetry on. But it sounded like Apollo accelerated straight into the wall. Whether he's frustrated or not, you can't do that. Crashgate? Is he working with Bonch? Crashgate in RF1. But yeah, Apollo accelerated into the wall. And you can't accidentally accelerate, it's not possible. So I think Apollo has just crashed on purpose out of frustration from his spin. That means Ruxian's hard work has completely gone, as 5 will be right behind him. 5 is no longer to push anymore, as the gap will be cut down. Halo in P3, I don't believe he's had a stop yet. Let's have a look at the stops. Apollo leaves the session. Right, Halo's in P3. Just from driving cleanly, to be honest. If you want to finish first you have to finish. Lucas Fenn in an incredible P4 for him. He is last, well, second to last of the people who haven't stopped yet. Ronin is just behind him on the hard tyre. Going back up to Rux. I'm assuming they're going to pit. There's no reason not to. Yeah, okay, he pits. 5 Crown will pit. Will Halo pit? I assume this is essentially free position, considering Lucas Fenn is 20 seconds behind. So the top 3 will remain unchanged in terms of track position. What did Ruxian opts for the hards? Interesting. 5 Crown also opts for the hards, but actually, yeah, they don't have a choice as they're all on the mediums, and they have to use 2 different tyre compounds as the rules state. So, 5's jumped him. Yeah, Ruxian, he was delayed on pit exit. I saw it. He wasn't blocked. He wasn't blocked. He just didn't leave the pit box. So that means that he's lost track position, and 5 Crown takes the lead. Under safety car conditions in the pit lane, 5 Crown is now your new leader with a penalty, but so does Rux. So at the restart, if it finishes as it is, then technically Halo has got the net lead of the race. Looks like Lucas Fenn. Yeah, he's in the pits. He'll lose 2 positions, but I believe that's it. As Ronin behind him is also in the pits. Paperstream coming through turn 1. He will stay behind Lucas Fenn by just a few seconds. So Lucas Fenn loses 2 places in the pits. He's in P6. Interesting for Paperstream not to box. I get he's on the hards, but he could have easily just boxed for mediums and got his mandatory pit stop out of the way. So that is interesting. We'll see what he's up to. Again, these guys know more than I do in terms of the weather, but all I know is there's going to be rain towards the end. I'm not really going to be able to predict it, as I can't tell you if it's going to get darker, as it's already pitch black. But yeah, 5 Crown is now the leader of the race. Just want to talk about Apollo though. I mean, feel free to, someone can go back, clip it or whatever, but he come into this corner exactly. He spun out the hairpin, lost his front wing, came up to this corner, went deep, and then just accelerated straight into the wall. I heard it, I didn't see it, I've got telemetry off, but I heard it, he accelerated straight into the wall. So, from my understanding, he's just got frustrated and he's put it in the wall, which you can't do. He's intentionally crashed, that'll be a hefty penalty. Looks like a quali ban or something like that. It's helped out Bonge though, as Bonge has no longer got a massive gap. He's still got a gap because he will be dead last on track, but he won't have as big of a gap as he did to the leaders and to everyone else. He's got to have the driver's lifetime if he wants to kind of realistically keep his championship hopes alive. The championship cannot be won today That will be next round where I believe it can. That's quite a lot of maths to do, so I'm not going to be able to do it right here, right now. Paper Stream pits a lap late, so he's going to lose track position. Bit strange, but Paper Stream obviously got something going on. He opts for the medium tyre, yeah, as expected. The softs can't really make it. Mediums are the perfect tyre for this stage in the race. Looking at the gaps between all drivers, safety car could be in this lap, if not definitely the next one, just depends on how quickly Paper Stream catches up. The incident has been cleared, so it's not, we have to wait for that. That happens quite quickly in the game, so. Pogo, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Well, he's not by me. Oh, right, okay. Oh, right, yeah. I know what he's talking about. I was joking, Pog. I was joking about Crashgate. I know, Apollo does. I know. I was joking. Yeah, I know. I was joking about Crashgate. It was just funny that it was in Singapore, that's why I said it. So, Paper Stream has caught up to the pack. So, coming to the end of Sector 3, yeah, there we go. Sector 2, sorry. Safety car is going to be in this lap as I thought. 5 Crown has got a really good opportunity to put one hand on the championship trophy, as has happened here before. Hamilton 2018, he put one hand on the championship trophy in Singapore. 5 Crown, although not in the Mercedes, can do the same tonight. As it stands, he will have a 40-point lead. So, although that's not enough to win the championship, I think actually by just about 3 points, it won't be possible to win the championship tonight if it finishes as it is, which I highly doubt, considering Bonge is in P10. But we get underway then. 5 Crown leads us. Ruxin got a really good reaction. He's going to look down the inside, but he's nothing doing. Teddy Ruxpin in the Williams goes down the inside of Puenheimer. He's up into P4. Good start from the Williams driver. Lucas Fenn just behind in P6. Ronin looking to make up positions. Looking like a pretty single file restart there, apart from a few of them. Always a little bit hectic as Ronin's going to be right at the back of Lucas Fenn. The send could be on here if he's brave enough, but he doesn't use overtake. He's not bothered. He's happy just to sit behind. Probably the smart decision. Teddy Ruxpin all over the back of the podium, the podium sitters. Oof! Always he's been hit. Puenheimer's hit him. Puenheimer's hit him. I'm not sure if they were side by side into the corner. Didn't look like it. As I was on board with Teddy Ruxpin. That's such a shame for him. I think Puenheimer hit him. I believe that was Puenheimer's fault. As Teddy Ruxpin's kind of got no reason just to turn in. They definitely weren't side by side going into the corner. Bonge is already up to P5 from P10. He's up 5 positions in less than 2 sectors. Really good start for Bonge. That's kind of what he needs. Yeah, so with Teddy Ruxpin, I think he's just been taken out by Puenheimer. Not too sure, so I won't comment too much more as I didn't see Puenheimer's point of view. Only he saw that. But yeah, main focus right now is Bonge, who's looking to kind of minimise the damage, catch up to the leaders. Remember, Rain should be coming later on. 5 Crown retains his lead, even after Ruxin's mega start. 6.5 temps is the gap behind him, 7 temps that is now. Halo is in the net race lead at the moment. Ruxin's got a penalty from the league. He's had too many incident warnings in previous races, and as you can see, 5 has also got a 3-second penalty. Lucas Fenn gets one on top of spinning. He's coming to the pits. He lost a lot of positions. I don't know if he spun. I think it was just him coming into the pits. Ronin going down the inside of Paper Stream. Right, the McLaren gets ahead of the Red Bull. Mr. Tallow and Bradford were having a little bit of a fight into turn 1 as well, just ahead. Didn't quite see much of that. Tallow goes into the wall. That could be damage, as Ronin and himself go side by side. No damage for Tallow, but that means that Ronan sees the opportunity. He's now ahead of the McLaren. Maybe, no, that's definitely some sort of small damage for Taddo as he goes deep. Lucas Fenn out of the pits now. He's opted for the medium tyre. Yep, medium tyre. Gap staying at 6.5 seconds between Ruxian and 5. Halo just kind of sitting where he needs to sit at the moment. Speaking of these penalties though, that could be crucial for Bonch, considering all he needs is a 3-second gap to 5 to get ahead. And same for Ruxian, so that could be 2 free positions if he gets a move on. He is on the quicker tyre. He also... he can make it to the end, but he'll struggle. But then also you've got to consider the rain. Can he make it to the rain? Settled itself down a little bit as the gaps start to form. The trains also start to form. Bit of a split down the middle of the pack as Rodin in P6 is, what's that, 7.1 seconds behind Bonch. DRS enabled. There's Wenheimer. No, Bonch gets the fastest lap of the race. So he's fastest bound on track. He needs to be at the moment if he wants any sort of chance at getting ahead of 5 in the championship. We've got a yellow flag down the main straight for Bradford. Bradford's lost his front wing. He spun on the exit. He almost spins again, just about catches it. That's a second victim, no, a third victim of the last corner. 2 Aston Martins and an Alfa Romeo of Bradford have now all spun at the last corner and completely lost their front wing. Mr. Taddo's out. There's been a collision. Mr. Taddo is out. That's another safety car. Another safety car. I didn't quite see it. I think it's at turn 4 or turn 3. I don't know what's happened to Taddo. I think he had damage earlier. We'll go to Lucas, see if he can see anything. No. Yeah, right here is where it happened. Not sure what happened. Bradford's also now retired on track. He had no front wing. Whether he's just spun into the wall or he's just retired on track, I don't know. Anyone coming up to him? Yeah, here's Lucas Fan. Is he in the wall? No, Bradford's just retired on track. I don't think his wheel was off. So Bradford's broken the rules. That's a pretty big penalty, but he wasn't the one who caused the safety car. That was Taddo. I believe he crashed. We've got a Ferrari sandwich in terms of the pack, P1 and P9. There's a second safety car of the night. Another one that does help Bonch, which is good for him. Makes it more exciting for me. He's got less of a deficit to catch up, and he's on the mediums. Compared to 5, Crown and Ruxian's hard tyre. Still waiting on this rain. We are just over halfway through the race. Rux said it was coming at the end. I'm just going to check the general chat of the division now. No, okay, no one else has said anything, so we've just got Rux saying it's going to be a wet race somewhat near the end. We trust you, Rux. Teddy Ruxpin has just said that I was behind paper, went straight into him. I didn't see that happen. To be honest, I was trying to find out more on the weather. But yeah, Teddy's saying that he went into the back of paper stream. Right now, everyone has made a pit stop, as you'd expect, on lap 17. And so everyone can, by rule, make it to the end. Whether or not their tyre will hold out, I don't know. gaps. It won't, yeah, well, it's too late for it to be in this lap, so most probably in next lap. Both incidents are cleared. The gap, or the pack, would have catched up by then, caught up, excuse me, by then, so should get racing underway. We've just had a overtake. No, it's Paper Stream coming into the pits. He's on the mediums. Is he going to go onto the soft tyre? Yes, he is. So Paper Stream taking a bit of a risk. Onto the softs he goes. He will be dead last. He might not catch up in time, so the safety car, annoyingly, might have to stay out for another lap. That denies us of racing. Unless he does catch up. Which I doubt, considering the gap. One thing I must remember today is interviews. They are untested on this capture card that I've got. I know how to make it work, but I've never actually seen it work, so I will just have to quickly change a setting at the end of the race. So yeah, I know how to make the party chat work through the capture card. I've just never done it before. Or I've never seen it work before. So that'll be interesting later on. Stick around for that. Safety car in slab. Okay, so Paper Stream did catch up. Just about. And safety car will be in this lap. Those hard tyres for 5 Crown and Rux will be really tricky to warm up. Looking further down to Bonge. He needs to do a good job at this restart. He needs to kind of jump Hohenheimer as much as possible. He is technically P3 at the moment, as he will jump 5 Crown and Ruxian because of their both respective penalties. Today Ruxpin picks up a track limit penalty on the safety car. I'm the Pog. Thank you very much. Rain in 10 from Pog. Okay, so I don't know if the lobby setting is on perfect or is on approximate, but rain in 10 minutes as 5 Crown gets underway. Ruxian not with a great reaction time, but 5 Crown's gone wide. He's going to look to use the overtake button and trying to get ahead of the Ferrari. Mercedes versus Ferrari. Will Rux send one down the inside? He will. 5 Crown just about gives him the room, but sticks it around the outside. Really, really good defence there from the Ferrari. Bonge up one position on Ronan, who's always getting all out of shape on exit turn 2. That'll put kind of Lucas right behind him. Good start from Bonge. He's now technically P2, as he will, as it stands, jump 5 and Rux. I'm Pog saying, well, 10 to 15. Okay. Whether that comes towards the end, I don't know, as the leaders are going side by side. Ruxian down the inside of 5 Crown. Will that put Halo up into P2? Right, no, 5 Crown sticks it down the inside. Really, really, really good battle from these two. All that's going to do, though, is mean that Bonge is going to catch up sooner, and he's, look at that, he's right on the end of the Halo. Has got a really, really good position to watch as Ruxian goes really deep, but he sends it down the inside. 5 is forced to leave him the room, to give him the racing line, and Ruxian takes the lead at the Singapore Grand Prix. On track, that is. Halo's going to look to pressure 5 Crown. He's using ERS. 5 Crown isn't. He defends to the inside. 5 Crown just outbrakes him. He'll park it on the apex to avoid the switchback. Good defence. Really good defence from 5, actually. He showed good defence earlier in turn 1 at the restart, where he stuck it around the outside of Ruxian, gave him the perfect amount of room, and shows good defence against Halo. Just a bit of a kiss of the wall for Bonge. That won't do him any damage. Rollin looking to make up, for the below average restart that he got. Lucas Fenn in the points in P6, looking to pressurise the McLaren. One struggling to hold on to the top 3 at the moment a little bit, but he is within the DRS, and if he keeps it that way for one more lap, he will get the DRS. He is under pressure though from the McLaren of Ronan. It's really crucial for Bonge just to stick with the pack. He's 8, 9 temps behind as 5 Crown's going to get overtaken by Halo. Halo, I think, went down the inside. I was looking at Bonge and Ronan, so I missed that one, but Halo up into P2. That's terrible news for 5. That means that Bonge is most definitely ahead, and that means that Bonge is going to catch up massively as they did go side by side. And that will slow him down. That's exactly what Bonge needed. He is now right behind his championship rival. Rain will most definitely be coming towards the end as Ronan picks up a 3-second time penalty. That means that just under half the field have all got at least 3 seconds of penalties. Or now over half, as Paper Stream gets a 3-second penalty. Over half of the field now has one. Not sure on warnings, so I won't be checking them as I don't want to miss out on any action, but see kind of what warnings Halo's on. As if Halo gets a penalty, Bonge will be leading as he's going to look to kind of make the move on 5 Crown straight away. He goes down the inside, not the optimal line for turn 1. 5 Crown sticks it around the outside, but for turn 2, Bonge will get the inside line and he is through. That is crucial for championship. Although, yeah, he was ahead because of 5's penalty. He's now got it on track position and he's going to look to push on to the top 2. Who will struggle a little bit considering the top 2 have DRS, but they are going side by side, meaning that Bonge will most likely catch up. Bit of a bang of wheels between the 2. Halo has to kind of back out of that one. Ruxian keeps the lead. Halo doesn't really need to fight, as I'm not sure if he knows actually that Ruxian is going to get 3 seconds added on at the end of this race, whilst from my understanding anyway. As these 4 guys battle it out. To 5 in that fact, as you see running on the outside of that shot. Really, really good camera angle. Second time I've said it. Halo's going to be too far back at the moment to do anything to Rux. He goes a bit deep. Has to go down to first gear to get the car slowed down. That fighting enabled Bonge to gain just over the best part of a second on those top 2. There's 5 Crown. Oh, that's crucial as well. 5 Crown picks up 6 seconds worth of penalties now total. He's losing a couple of positions to that alone. So what went from a dream scenario for 5 and a nightmare to Bonge has kind of gone from a dream for Bonge and a nightmare to 5. It's swapped round within a matter of about 10 or so laps. It's now advantage Bonge. Although he won't get the championship lead. It's not possible for him tonight considering all finishers will get a penalty. Well, that is if 5 finishes, which I hope for his sake, he will. From my understanding, Bonge is P2, Halo in P1, with Ruxian in P3. After penalties, Ruxian now defending the inside as Halo expertly switches to the inside. He's going to go completely off track though. Ruxian gets a 3-second penalty. He's got 6 seconds total. Halo is ghosted for some reason. Rux will take advantage of that, as he should. Yeah, now in a ghosted battle. That's a shame for Bonge, considering if they were side by side, he would have gained time on them. But Halo now takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Should he give that position back, considering he gained a massive advantage by going off? In real life, he'd be forced to give it back. Although I don't think there's much rule in him doing so. Whether or not that will go to the stewards later, I don't know. But technically, Halo kind of broke about 20 metres too late, went really deep, and kept the position because of it. So in my opinion, he should either A, give it back, or B, get some sort of penalty after the race. It might be a bit harsh, but you can't gain an advantage by going off, in my opinion. Ruxian now with 6 seconds worth of penalties. That's good for 5. As that's kind of less of a gap if he does get ahead of Rux. He has to pull. No gap in fact, considering they both have 6 seconds. Bonge not really saving his overtake. In the DRS of Rux though. He needs to kind of win this race, I think. Bonge. He needs to win this race. Cut the workload for later. this season. I believe we are kind of approaching the 10-minute mark since Pog said 10-15 minutes. So we're looking for rain now. Ruxian light flashing. So he's less than 10% of ERS. That's a good thing for Bonge, as I think Rux went a little bit deep into that corner, and Bonge will benefit a little bit because of it. 5 Crown just hanging on under that 1 second mark. Whether he can keep that or not, I don't know. Pog says Jess still staying 10, so if it is still 10 seconds, then 10 minutes, then we're looking at about 7 laps until the rain, which will come right at the end. Hopefully that happens, because that means that I doubt people will pit, and we'll see who can keep it on track, but I'm not sure if this rain is actually going to come. I'll tell you what, this track is by far the best for camera angles. All these cinematic ones, none of them disappoint. Absolutely none of them disappoint. This is actually amazing. Viacon has had a pretty decent lap. He's getting 3 temps on Bonge. Rux out of the DRS of Halo, meaning that should be more of a simple move for Bonge, as he looks way more confident, got more grip. Bearing in mind though, Bonge on those medium tyres, I say it's advantage Bonge, like I said earlier, but he's got to make him go to the end. As Ruxian kind of swerves to break the slipstream. His light is flashing. Will Bonge go for the inside? I think he kind of has to at this point. No, he backs out of it. Ruxian doesn't take the bait. But yeah, I mean, let's have a look at, can I see tyre? No, that's the wrong one. Tyre. He's on 11 lap old mediums, exactly the same age as Halo. Ruxian, although on the hards, same for 5, same age on the hards, running on 11 lap old mediums as well. They're going to struggle towards the end. Bearing in mind we got, what's that, 7-8 laps left to go. All his Bonge, as I'm talking about tyres, struggles on his tyres, and that's crucial. 5 has got through, on track, 6 second penalty of course. Locks up, defends the inside. I think for 5, the best kind of thing to do at the moment is kind of try and hold up Bonge, make sure that he can't get ahead of Rux. But he's got 6 seconds worth of penalties, but I think 5 wants to make a move on and focus on his own race. But that mistake from Bonge costs him track position. Pokemon Rain, according to Pog, says in 10 minutes, but it's also said that 20 minutes ago, so whether it's actually going to arrive or not, I'm not sure. If it does arrive at this rate, it will be on about lap 29, lap 30. Been a bit of a mixed racer, Bonge. He's made 2 big errors and a couple more smaller errors, most of which have cost him 1 or more track position places. So, not the best afternoon, best evening for Bonge, not the dream one he would have hoped for. His light is flashing. He has got less than 10% ERS behind the Ferrari of 5, who's definitely got much more than 10. I think he's got about half battery left. I've noticed that from 5 in the last few races. His ERS management is a lot better than the rest. He's looking to pressurise Ruxian. This will be for track position, considering the 2 have 6 second penalties. 5 looks a bit faster right now, looks a bit more confident on the curbs, on the braking, under acceleration. We have a DRS zone now, but whether he's going to be close enough or not, I don't know. He's not using the overtake, he's not looking to make the pass just yet. Ruxian's lights flashing ahead of him, so should be relatively simple when we get to the longer DRS zone. That is after turn 3. Bonge struggling a little bit on the back of this 2-way fight. 5 with the DRS. He is going to use overtake, so he wants to get as close as he possibly can for the main overtaking point into turn 5. Ruxian didn't get the best exit out of turn 2. Neither did 5. He has a bit of a shake of the steering wheel. Ruxian's hit the ball. That's certainly surely damage. Nothing visual, but that must be at least a little bit of damage if we run on board with 5. He goes round the outside. Ruxian does stick it down the inside. Oh my goodness, that was late on the brakes. Ruxian got a bit desperate, went down the inside. Did leave about half a car's width for 5, not quite the whole one that 5 might have expected. But 5 does make the move stick. That was really late on the brakes, as Bonge is going to look to pressurise Rux into the old Singapore sling. Nothing doing there, kind of a tricky place to overtake, but this hairpin, we've seen it done before. Always Bonge gets a terrible exit. That's going to put Rux running down the inside of him. No. McLaren decides to back out. He's got a penalty if he overtakes Bonge. In terms of final position, doesn't really do anything, but he's going to use his battery. He's got much more than Bonge and everyone else, so see what he can do. Kind of approaching in these next few laps when the rain is supposed to come. Pog, if you are listening, I'd appreciate it if you could give me an update, but don't make it a priority to put off Bonge. I don't want to be doing that. But yeah, an update on the weather when you can would be nice. Teddy Ruck's been on fresh. No, sorry, I was going to say, I was really confused then. I thought that was a 0. No, it's an 8 on 8 lap old, 9 lap old now. Mediums. He's got a lot more grip, I'd assume, than running ahead, so he's hanging on to the pack. Halo with a just under 2.5 second gap. Pog says 5. I assume that means 5 minutes till rain. I don't believe there's enough laps for that to happen, so the rain has got to fall a lot earlier than 5 minutes. Oh no, we will have. So if it does arrive in 5 minutes, we will have the rain. But Ruxian goes really deep. That'll put Bonge closer to him than he already was. Both the lights flashing. Ronin hanging behind with a almost, what is that? Just over half full battery. So he'll be affected to play in this last few laps with a penalty. So still, if he overtakes Bonge, it doesn't really matter. But if he overtakes Ruxian, it will. Five crowd should, I reckon, be a touch quicker than Halo towards the end. Whether there's enough laps and or enough laps for 5 to bring down the gap, I don't know. It'll be a big task for him. Even if he does overtake Halo, there's definitely not enough laps without a mistake from Halo to pull the 6 seconds on him. 5 crown is kind of checked out from Ruxian and Bonge. Bonge needs to keep pushing. He needs to stay within 6 seconds of 5. He's looking very quick at the moment. He has gained about 3 temps on Halo in those last couple of sectors. But with the DRS, Bonge is getting a lot closer to Ruxian at the moment. Looks a lot more confident, got a lot more grit than Rux at the moment. I wonder if Rux is struggling with tyre temperatures. Into the DRS straight. Bonge using ERS. Neither of them have much left. Can we see a bit of a dive down the inside from Bonge? I wouldn't write it out as he goes. He sends it down the inside. He can't get the move done. When a lot of these corners in Singapore, the outside line is the better one. Doesn't have the traction on exit to get ahead of Ruxian. But certainly not a bad effort from Bonge. But I think for him, it doesn't really matter. He doesn't need to get ahead of Ruxian. He just kind of needs to follow him, and make sure he's got less than a 6 second gap to 5, who is his main championship rival at the moment. Rain can still be a factor. Will the rain come? That is kind of the main question at the moment. Will it start to fall? Five Crown hasn't really taken much of Halo's advantage away. It's stayed the same over that lap. So whether it kind of entering the crossover point between the hards and the mediums in terms of pace, that could be the case. So we round out the last corner. Ronin picks up another 3 second penalty on exit. Side by side, Bonge and Ruxian into turn 1. The outside line tends to be the better one, but that means that Ruxian will have the inside line into turn 2. This is where Bonge has had a couple of spins. He keeps it together at third now. Into turn 3 we go. He will have the DRS, and he's a lot closer than he was on the previous lap by using the overtake button. Will he go down the inside? Will Rex defend the inside? He does. Rex defends the inside, but Bonge didn't close up as much as he did before. As Ruxian picks up another penalty. I think he's got 9 seconds now. If he does get that penalty added to his time, like I think he will. Halo pulled another 2 taps to 5, so maybe that crossover point isn't there. Maybe the mediums are going to hold on to the pace of the hard tyres as it stands. Through the hairpin, Ronin really pressurising Bonge, but because Bonge also has the DRS, I don't think there's much that Ronin can do. He's got much more of a battery. But as tends to be the case, you can never overtake in a DRS train, no matter what track. And Singapore is an exception, as Ronin breaks a lot later than Bonge and almost runs into the back of him. He just misjudged it a little bit, did Ronin, but no consequence. As they were. As rain started to fall, that's it, rain on the camera, it is raining. So there is going to be 2 laps yet as we round the last corner. 2 laps of rain. How bad is it going to get? The soft run, so Paper Stream's going to be the fastest man on track if the rain gets bad, as it looks like it's going to. This is going to get super interesting now for everyone. The rain has started to fall. Ruxian, he's already struggling, as is Bonge. They're already struggling on exit. Lucas getting ahead of Paper Stream. Paper Stream had a terrible last corner, I guess, as the Ferrari gets ahead of the Red Bull for P7. Gap 1.9 at the front, so maybe the crossover point is happening, but as the rain starts to fall, that advantage for the hard runners will disappear. As the softer tyre you're on, the better your grip will be. Look at that, it's already approaching into conditions. The rain has started to fall in Singapore, and it's looking like to be a chaotic last lap. There's not going to be enough time for a pit stop to be faster. But look at that, look how wet it is already. That rain has fallen so quickly. Now Bonge is pressurising Ruxian, that gap ahead 2.1 between the leaders. But in terms of penalties, that doesn't matter. DRS is disabled. Look how slow they're driving. Braking is going to be so difficult for every single person on track. As Bonge goes so deep. He gets all squirrely on the exit. I don't think there's going to be any sort of move for him. As Rollins lost it. Rollins lost it in the traction zone. Not sure if he's hit the wall. Let's have a look if he's got damage. No, if he has got damage, only minor. As he's really struggling. Teddy Ruxpin moves up to P5. Bonge all over the back of Ruxian. As we have a yellow flag in sector 2. I think that's for Paper Stream. Yes, it is. But we'll move ahead to the leaders. Bonge is now ahead of Rux. He's moving over to the left. Has he got damage? Don't believe so. Ruxian just really struggling. Teddy Ruxpin now, look how much quicker he is than everyone else. Told you these softer the tyre you're on, the quicker. Bonge is gonna come into the pits. Bonge is into the pits. Same for Halo. They're gonna choose for the inter tyre on the last lap. So 5 crown leads from Teddy Ruxpin. The gap is just over 6 seconds. Bearing in mind 5 crown with a 6-second penalty. Now it's 6.6. He doesn't have the best turn 1. 5 crown is safe in the lead at the moment. 2 people taking the risk are Halo and Bonge. They're going to be the fastest men on track by a lot. Whether or not they can kind of bring the gap down or not, I highly doubt, as 5 crown is already approaching. Where is that? He's already approaching the last sector. He's halfway through sector 2 at the moment. I got the bearings a bit wrong there. Lucas Fenn also comes into the pits. Now let's just ride on board with Bonge. He's going to be a lot quicker than Halo. Than Ronin. I'm assuming they'll catch, but I doubt they're going to be catching the leaders. Gap 6.6 seconds. Has Halo thrown away the victory compared to 2 5 crown? Through the ex-Singapore sling we go. Pokemon, I am asking the same question. Why should they pit? It's the last lap. They're not going to gain 20 plus seconds on 1 lap. I don't care how wet it is. 5 crown through the hairpin. Look how hard it is for him to get the power on. so difficult. Is Halo on the inters, yeah, as I thought, they are going to catch up to Ronin. So will Bonge, I assume, but the gap is quite large. So Halo moves up to P4, but he has most definitely thrown away the victory. We have got a yellow flag for Paper Stream, I believe that is. But for now, it's looking like 5 Crown is going to put one hand on the championship trophy if he can keep the car pointing in a straight line through the last sector. He's got the gap to Teddy Ruxpin, who's got the gap to Ruxy, but Ruxy's all over the back of him in the last sector. Probably no move doing. Bonge, as expected, gets ahead of Ronin. But that's about it for the progress that Bonge and Halo can make. Let's see if they catch Teddy Ruxpin and Ruxian in the last few corners. But I believe that, yeah, Halo has thrown away the victory. 5 Crown rounds the last corner, puts one hand on the championship trophy. He wins the Singapore Grand Prix. Handed on a platter to 5 Crown, but they all count. Teddy Ruxpin looks like he's going to claim second place. Really popular podium is on the line. On the line, Halo gets ahead of Ruxpin, not like it matters, as they did have a penalty, same for Teddy Ruxpin. They went side by side, photo finish. Halo with the extra grip took P3 on track, but will get P2 after penalties. Bonge moves up into P4, not the best day for him considering the championship. Ruxian moves down into P5. He will stay there even after that extra 3 seconds added on. Lucas Fenn moves up into P7 on the last lap. He gets ahead of Paperstream. I'm just going to speak about strategy. I'm so interested as to why Bonge and Halo decide to pit. Halo, I mean, yeah, you can see that always got spinners. Lucas Fenn has spun. He's reset to track as well, and that's caught on camera. So I'm not going to report it as I don't care, but I don't know if anyone else will, but you can't do that. Lucas Fenn is reset to track. He will come across the line to finish last, and that's a DNF. He DNFs himself before the line. Well done, Lucas. I don't think you've scored any points because you just DNF'd yourself on the last corner before the line. Anyway, interesting finish to the Singapore Grand Prix. I just want to know why Bonge and Halo pitted. That was an easy win for Halo. And he threw it away. I know the gap was only 2.5 seconds, but bear in mind 5 Crown has 6 seconds worth of penalties, so technically the gap was 8.5 seconds. So yeah, Halo just threw away the win. So that's your podium then. 5 Crown wins, followed by Halo, and then Teddy Ruxpin on P3. Miss Amy was correct. Teddy on the podium. I don't think anyone got the podium predictions fully correct. I highly doubt it. So now, if you'd excuse me, I've just got to change a few settings, and I'll get these interviews done. And I'll just invite everyone to the party. So this is going to be really unprofessional, but I'm going to have to open the settings app. So hello everyone, these podium sitters in the party. Don't know if one of you could speak please, and I'm just going to see if I got the settings right. There we go. Okay. So these are our podium sitters. If I just switch over these few settings, and we'll get the interviews going. There we go. Right. It looks like we've only got 5 Crown in the party. Hello 5, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
You can. Hello. So congratulations on winning. An interesting race for sure. that means that you have put one hand on the championship trophy. Can I have your thoughts, please?
Yeah, it's tire race was a bit weird. Tires and stuff, so softs went off really quickly. So. We need to do some proper throttle control. It seemed to have worked. Now, I've won, and I don't know how many points I'm ahead now, but I guess it's a lot.
Yeah, so you're definitely a good chunk of points ahead. I think you can technically win it next round. I think Bonch has to get a pretty low score for that to happen.
Italy.
But there was two safety cars. I'm not sure if you know how the first one happened, but what happened is Apollo accelerated into the wall on purpose.
I see.
That's how the first.
I was kind of thinking that Apollo might do a Renault strat to try and get Bonch to an advantage, but I don't know if I don't think it worked.
Well, I did joke about that, and then Pog came and defended and said that he wasn't in the party with them. But you know, that were made to be seen. I don't think we'll ever find out if it was on purpose or not.
Yes.
But anyway, not like it matters. Yeah, so that's how the first safety car came about. It didn't really affect you too much, did it? Because you had the gapper to come into the pits and not really lose anything.
Yeah.
I think it was the second safety car where you jump rocks in the pits. What happened there was...
Yeah,
what happened there? Do you know?
go ahead. So, I don't know, I was in the party with Ruxian. We came into the pits at the same time, and Ruxian was shouting at his crew that he was getting held up, like he wasn't allowed to go until my car was passed, and then he still got held up, I think. It was very weird, and I was allowed to. I would say Ferrari gave me an unsafe release because I think I just about got in front of him, but not like barely, almost clipped his like wing or something, I think. So yes. I don't quite know what happened there. So.
The crew just held him.
Game being weird.
But yeah, finally we'll talk about those last few laps. I'm a little bit confused as to why Halo and Bonge decided to pit. It's a little bit confusing, considering there was only one lap to gain 20 plus seconds. But
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's a bit.
That's not a great decision, but I mean, I can see where they're coming from because it could have been way wet. Like Jeff didn't tell me how hard the rain was going to be, but like. Well, maybe if it was a bit wetter, and I'm obviously on the hards, so they cool down really quickly.
If you were to remove your penalty of 6 seconds, I think it was, Halo finished 8.5 seconds behind you on track. So he did gain like a lot of time, but there was no way. If it was 2 laps remaining, then it would have been smart to pit, but not with one. So you kind of got it handed to you, but they all count, and 5 the only one in the party. That'll be it for the interviews, and congratulations, 5.
I think Ruxian wasn't Ruxian. I don't know, Ruxian was shouting at me that you weren't doing interviews, and now he's not here, so...
Well, he wasn't on the podium. I invited the 3 podium sitters, and
oh yeah, that's true.
It's not on there.
He's not on the podium.
So...
I'm fucking retarded, so...
Yeah, so that is it then. 2 guys don't have mics, so 5 is the only one who can interview us. Congratulations to 5 and the other 2 podium sitters. And that is it for tonight's race. D2 is in about 25 minutes time, so don't go anywhere for that. Or D1, I say it every week. D1 is in 25 minutes time, so stick around for that. Roxanne with the crying emoji in chat. That is it then. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you very, very, very shortly.
So how was that?